When I went to London, it was all over the radio, all the clubs. I said, this scene remind me of Chicago.
For me, it's an amazing thing to see that another country embraces our music bigger than the country that we're from.
House music's bigger than any one person. It's bigger than all of us. And I would have to say to have a portion of its inception be my legacy. You know, I feel that that's just an honor.
Too strong. Check this out.
The whole scene I've been around all my life was predominantly minority. When I came across the ocean, it's the opposite. I was like, they like house music like that?
In just 3 years, the house music of Chicago was to win over dance floors from Manchester to Ibiza.
When you first heard this stuff, it was just blew your bollocks off.
While its combination with ecstasy was to transform British society.
It was the first time that people actually let themselves go.
At the time, it was a revolution. You knew things were going to change, and you know, music was going to change. Everything was going to change.
This is the story of the music and people who created the Summer of Love.
It was life-changing. It was life-changing for those people on the dance floor, and it was life-changing for me in the DJ box, and it was life-changing for the bouncers on the front door.
Check this out.
In 1985, house music existed in just one city, Chicago.
Everybody was DJs, so we needed something to catapult us into another category to make more money, and that became, you know, just fragmented into making records at that time.
The DJs of Chicago had created a new dance music from the ashes of disco. In 1985, legendary producer Steve Silk Hurley created its first hit.
We pressed it up, it went through the roof.
Hurley took house to number 9 in the American dance charts. But he didn't get the chance to release his planned follow-up.
To date, my biggest record in the UK is Love Can't Turn Around. And it came together from, once again, it's crazy, it came together from an idea Steve Silk Hurley had.
Farley was over at Jesse's place, and he said he had this idea. And so he couldn't execute that. He knew that the three of us could.
We brought in Dwayne to do the solo, the piano stuff on there. We brought in Vince because Vince was like the lyricist on everything.
Now this is how it started. My dream's all broken hearted because I want you. We'll never be the same because you play these silly games and yet I want you.
We didn't have a lead vocalist.
I had recently recorded a song with this guy, Daryl Pandy, a song called Climax that was on Ray Barney's Bright Star Records. And this guy was a motherfucker of a singer. And I had heard somewhere that he had played the Cowardly Lion in the local performance of The Wiz.
And he's gay. So to us it was like, we don't want to have anything to do with this guy, you know, because he's constantly telling us how he wants to try to get with us.
He had a big bellowing voice and he was very churchy, and we thought that the kids were into that spiritual shit, man. Motherfuckers yelling and screaming on the records, you know. So we thought that he would go over like gangbusters in the club. So we brought this guy in and he sang the fuck out that tune.
Now this is how it started. My dreams are broken hearted, yet I want you, baby. We'll never be the same, cause you play those silly games, and yet I want you, girl.
Farley started playing the shit on the radio, and you know, copies started flying out the door.
Record goes on the radio, blows up, huge, selling numbers.
But Love Can't Turn Around divided the friends who had created it.
You just want everybody to keep calling your name Farley, Farley, you know, so it got a little bit out of hand at that time.
Within 30 days, I'm in Rocky Jones' office, and he's cutting us a check for $20,000, $30,000. You know, and I'm sitting up thinking, I didn't expect anything out of this record, but I'm making money.
You know, you're working with your friends, and you think that, you know, I guess everybody do the right thing when somebody gets paid, you know, that everybody's sharing the wealth, but you come to find it's just not like that.
I never got a friggin' penny.
I don't think even Daryl got the money that he should have gotten.
But it was the track that catapulted house into the UK. It went top 10 in August 1986.
I played it at Heaven. I knew it was just going to tear the place up, and it did. And then I played it at the Mud Club, and it likewise, same thing happened there.
When I first started going clubbing, all the best clubs were gay, you know, and we would go down there and not pretend to be gay, but certainly pretend not to be shocked at everyone else in there, just to go and hear the best music.
DJs who played house in straight clubs in London got a less enthusiastic reaction.
Well, something else came up to me, a warehouse party in London with this kind of, you know, those kind of cloth wear groove caps they used to wear, and the steel toe cap, Doc Martens and white socks and 501s and ME1 flying jacket. A look later developed by Bros, if I remember correctly. They said, well, I'll get this Puff's music off.
And I started getting these notes passed me saying, why are you playing this Chicago homo music?
I had a few kind of like things thrown at me, and I was called gay a lot as well.
Most of the clubbers were into rare groove and hip hop, and you know, everyone was cool and down and that kind of stuff.
I think a lot of the hip hop kids thought the music was quite faggy. You know, they didn't get it, and in fact, most people didn't get it.
No one's used to it. No one was used to that sort of tempo and energy. So you know, it took a while, but up north, everyone was into it. Everyone were into it long before we were, as far as like, you know, going out and dancing to it and stuff.
Since the late 70s, soul fans in the north of England had held the torch for up-tempo dance music.
Please forgive me, come back, and then we could fall in love over and over and over and over again. Oh, tell me what can I do? What can I say? Say you got
Bum 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 bum, I'm on my way, you know, and shit like that. You know, we grew up in a real northern soul sort of thing.
What can I do? What can I say?
When house arrived in the 80s, it fitted into the northern soul all-night dance culture.
I think there was a lot of similarities. It was like, you know, very soulful, four-to-the-floor fast music.
When the Hacienda started playing records from Detroit and Chicago, it wasn't that different maybe to what DJs had done a generation before.